Hello friends, welcome to Insight Learners. So in this video we shall discuss the global edge. So the MCQ questions which was asked today itself. So the CMCQ questions as well as the OS MCQ questions. So we shall quickly see the first question, that is which was asked under the CMCQ questions. So the first question is, let Q denote a queue which containing 16 numbers and S be an empty stack, and head of Q returns the element at the head of the queue without removing it from Q. So similarly, top of S, it returns the element at the top of S without removing it from the stack S. So this is an algorithm. So initially Q is not empty, then you are going to do, and if S is empty, so on top of S, if it is less than equal to head of Q, then you need to dequeue it, and then after that you need to enqueue. So which means you need to remove an element from a queue, then again add it. Remove, add it. So which is nothing but so removing and adding, so which means it happens at a worst case. So the worst case happens when the queue is sorted in descending order. So here you can say worst case. The worst case happens when the queue is sorted in descending order. So in descending order, when queue is sorted, so the worst case happens. So there is if in worst case the loop, so it can be any code. So the loop, it runs n into n times. So in worst case the loop runs. So in worst case the loop runs n cross n times. So loop runs n cross n times. So you can say they have given, that is the queue denotes a queue which contains 16 numbers. So which means the value of n is 16, and then in worst case the loop runs for n into n times. So which means you are going to write, so 16 into 16, so which is equal to 256. So which is equal to 256. So the minimum number of iterations of the while loop in the algorithm. So while loop in the algorithm, you can say this is the, so while, so the minimum number of iterations that can be performed using while loop is nothing but it is 16 into 16, which is 256. So from the option, the options are 64, 32, 16 and 256. The option D is the correct answer for the question, which is 256. So next one is the second question. So main of int a is equal to 300, b is equal to 200c, and here it is initially you're going to check whether a, that is 300, is greater than equal to 200, condition is true, but it is not of true, is nothing but false. So which means here b is not initialized, c is 400. So b, the initial value of b is printed, which is nothing but 200, and the value of c is 400. So b will be 200 and c will be 400. So option D, that is, so b is equal to 200 and c is equal to 400. So which is nothing but the option D is the correct answer for the second question. So next one is similarly third one, given a queue implementation. So with insert, delete, is empty methods, what does the below function do? So here is the function. So here like the options will be queue remains unchanged or queue remains unaltered, like that. So here because void function queue is there, int I if is empty of queue. So we're going to check whether the queue is empty. Then after that I is equal to delete of queue. So delete of queue means there are no elements in the queue now, and that is initialized to I. Function of queue, again this queue is called an insert of queue comma I. So insert of queue, so queue is nothing but so which is a queue, and I is nothing but it's an empty. So delete of queue, which I contains empty, so insert of queue. So which means the queue which was earlier, it remains same. So which means queue is unchanged. So there will be option like queue remains unchanged or queue is reversed. So here there is no option of reversing, queue is not reversed. So it will be like queue is unchanged. So options will be like queue is unchanged. And next thing is queue is reversed. But queue is not reversed because there is no such operation. Here just you are going to delete of queue, which means I includes empty queue, and here we are inserting queue again, and this is empty. So which means the initial queue is again same as it is. So which means the option A, that is queue is unchanged. is the correct answer for the third question. So next one is which of the following statements is false. So here the MCQ, it is combination of data structures and C programming as well as OS. So the option is, the first one is optimal binary search tree construction can be performed efficiently using dynamic programming. And the second question is, breadth first search cannot be used to find connected components of a graph. And the third option is, given the prefix and postfix works of a binary tree, the tree cannot be reconstructed uniquely. And the fourth option is, depth first search can be used to find the components of a graph. So you need to observe it clearly. They are asking which of these statements is false. So binary search tree construction, it can be performed using dynamic programming. So option A is correct. Then second option, breadth first search cannot be used to find the connected components of a graph. So you can use the breadth first search algorithm to find the connected components of a graph, but here they are telling it cannot be used. So this is false statement. Then after that, given prefix and postfix, the tree cannot be reconstructed uniquely. Then so with the help of depth first search, you can find the components of a graph. Similarly, with the help of breadth first search also, you can use this algorithm to find the connected components of a graph, but they are telling it cannot be used. So option B is the correct answer for the question. That is, which of the statement is false? The B option. So the B statement is false. So the answer is B. So next thing is fifth question. In a tree given, find the post order traversal. So there will be a tree and you are supposed to find the post order traversal. So then first thing is, as there are three different types of traversal. One is the pre-order traversal, next one is the in-order traversal, and next one is the post-order traversal. So the first thing is the pre-order traversal. So pre-order traversal means there are left nodes, right nodes, and root node. So pre-order traversal means the first comes the root node. So next one is the left node, next one will be the right node. So we denote it as W. And next one is we have the in-order traversal. So in case of in-order traversal, so just in order means the root node comes at the middle. So first will be left node, then root node, then it will be the right node. So similarly, we have one more type of traversal, that is the post order traversal. So in case of post order traversal, the root node will come at the end. So which means left node, right node, and then after that the root node. So which means just changing the position of the root node. So for pre-order, root node is at the initial place, then in order root node is at the middle, and for post order it will be at the end. So based on that, there will be a tree, or you can say, so there will be tree, like there will be root node and there will be children's or sub nodes. And first they are going to tell in a tree you need to find the post order traversal. So post order means first you are going to write the left nodes, then right nodes, and then the root node. So this is what the post order traversal means. Similarly, if they give you in order, so from a tree, if you want to find the in order, so first mention all the left nodes, then the root node, and then the right node. So like that you are going to, based on the options given, you are going to choose it. So next one is identify the correct output for the code snippet. So for the code snippet, initially we have a main function. So initially int I is equal to 0. So initially int I is equal to 0. Then next thing is while I is less than 10. So while I is less than 10, I plus plus. So 0 is less than 10, condition is true. So you're going to increment I. So printf high. So first it will print high. So next thing is it enters into the while loop. So while I is less than 8. So again, so 1 is less than 8. So because I is incremented, so now I becomes 1. So 1 is less than 8. So condition is true. So while loop, so it prints hello. So again I is incremented, so I becomes 2. 2 is less than 8, condition is true. Again hello is printed. So till I is, so when I becomes 7, 7 is less than 8, condition is true. So it prints hello for 7 times. So initially hi is printed once. So here hi is printed once. Then hello is printed 7 times. And next thing is again it will loop. So based on the option itself you can find. So hi is printed once, hello is printed 7 times. And obviously next time the hi is printed 2 times. So you can say the option B is the correct answer for the question. I is printed once, hello is printed 7 times, and the next thing is that I will be printed 2 times because the value of I will be 8, 8 is less than 10, so I is printed. So next time when I is incremented, so I becomes 9, so 9 is less than 10, so it prints I one more time. So then when I becomes 10, it comes out of the loop. So which means I is printed once initially, then hello is printed 7 times, and then I is printed 2 times. So option B is the correct answer for the question. So next one is the seventh one. What is the value of array after executing the given C code? So C is 100. So this is an array with so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have two for loops. Initially I is 0, J is also 0. So temp is equal to array of that is 0, 0. So at 0th position, so what we have is 1. So 0th position we have 1 plus C, that will be so 1 plus C, but the value of I is 0. So 0, 0, you can say plus C. So plus C is nothing but 100. So here you can say the 0th position 0 and 0 we have 1 comma 2. Then we are going to add it with C. So it is nothing but 0 plus 100. So 0 plus 100 is 100. So next thing is 2 and 3 remain same because it is so array of I comma j is equal to a of j comma I. So it is 2 comma 3. So you can say from the option there is only one option, like first will be 100, then 2 comma 3, and similarly again for next iteration again see when it is added, so it will be 4 comma 100 comma 6, similarly 7 comma 8 comma 9. So there is only one option which will get 100. So answer for the question will be option A. So next one is the eighth question. A program P reads 500 integers in the range from 0 to 100. So representing the scores of 500 students. So it then prints the frequency of each score above 50. So what will be the best way for P to store the frequencies? So whether you need to use an array of 50 numbers, or whether you need to use an array of 100 numbers, or whether you need to use an array of 500 numbers or a dynamically allocated array of 550 numbers. So you can say if we use an array of 50 numbers to store the frequencies, then after that what you need is we need an additional 50. So you can say we need to print the frequency of each score above 50, means 50, 51, 52. So because here the array is indexed from 0 to 50, so we can use an array of 100 elements. If we use an array of 100 elements, then we are going to like the storage space is wasted to store the elements. So here we need to print the frequency of each score above 50, means 51, 52, 53. So if we store an elements in an array from ranging from 0 to 50, then after that if you want the 51th element, so you can increase array of 1, array of 2, in such way you can access. So if you consider an array of 100 numbers, simply you are wasting the storage space is wasted. So you can say an array of 50 numbers is the correct option for the, means you need to choose an array of 50 numbers to store the, so when the frequency of score above 50, you can just use an array of 50 numbers, that is ranging from 0 to 50, 0 to 49, which is nothing but 50. So you can say you can use an array of 50 numbers. So option A. So next one is what is the output of the code when the base address of array is 63872 and each integer occupies 4 bytes. So when int main array of 12, 13, 14, 32, 47. So here you're going to printf percentage u, address of array AR of +1. So here you can say by seeing itself the percentage u, you have used, like they have given the two codes, and when you compile this code it gives a compilation error. So but by seeing you will see like there is an base address 63872. So since it is a 4 bytes, you are going to add 4 and you just write 63876. But here it gives a compilation error like percentage u ampersand array +1. When you print, like it gives a compilation error. So therefore the option B is the correct answer for the question. It gives a compilation error. The next thing is what is the purpose of linking the step in building a C program? Like what is the purpose of linking? So whether linking is nothing but like you're going to combine the files. So here you can say in option storing commands used to build a complete program, whether you can use linking to convert an executable code to use on a system architecture different from that one used to write. Third option is combining the separate object code files into a complete program. So linking is nothing but you're going to combine the separate object code files into a complete program. So you can say from the option itself, C is the correct answer for the question. The next thing is, what is the worst case of serial search for finding a single element in a linked list? So for finding the worst case for finding the single element in a linked list, it is n. So when you are considering n, it varies linearly. So you can say the linear time. The answer will be option D, that is linear time. The next thing is 12th question, char C int I, C is equal to A and I is equal to C. What does this code demonstrates? So like whether it is an implicit typecasting or type nesting, so it is not a nesting. Then inferred characterization, so this is not the correct answer. So remaining option is implicit and explicit. So for performing explicit typecasting, you are going to specify explicitly the data type. So like short of a leg, and the remaining is implicit. So this is nothing but implicit typecasting. So that is answer will be option A, that is implicit typecasting is the correct answer for this code snippet. So next one is select the correct matching pair. So here again they have given pre-order traversal, in-order traversal and post-order traversal, and these are the options, and here L is left, W is right and R is root. So as we told, so first thing is the pre-order traversal. So pre-order traversal is nothing but the root node comes at the first. So root node comes left, right. So which is nothing but E. So first one is E. So next thing is in order traversal, the R should come at the middle, so which is nothing but L, R, W, so A. Second one is A, and the post order traversal means R should come at the end. So R should come at the end, so which is nothing but, so R is coming at the end, then the left, so right node, left node, and then root node. So that is 3B. So you can say the first one is E. Pre-order is nothing but 1E, that is 1E. Then second one is A, and then again the last thing is the post-order traversal. So post-order traversal is nothing but the root node comes at the end. So remaining will be same, like there will be left and the right node. So left and the right node will be the same. So only the root is there. So which is nothing but, so that is first one is E, second one is A, and third one is F. So you can say D option. The next one is, what is the output of the code? So 14th question, int I is 0 while I equal to 0 means while of 0 is nothing but, so while of 0 is nothing but it is false. So that is printf true is not printed, whereas it will print the else part. Means while I of 0 is nothing but while of false, so it prints false. So you can say false will be printed once. So answer is option C. So next one is the OS question. So here the OS questions, consider the following statements with respect to the user level threads and the kernel supported threads. So the first one is the context which is faster with kernel supported threads. For user level threads, a system call can block the entire process. And third one is kernel supported threads can be scheduled independently. And then the last one is the user level threads are transparent to the kernel. So here you can say the first, which of the above statements are true. So first thing is you can say the context switch. So context switch is faster with kernel supported threads, which means kernel level threads, user level threads. In user level threads, the context switch time is less, whereas in case of kernel level threads, it is more. So next thing is second one we have for user level threads, a system call can block the entire process. So second one is correct. So next thing is we have the kernel supported threads can be scheduled independently. So kernel supported threads can be scheduled independently. And next thing is user level threads are transparent to the kernel. So this is correct. User level threads are transparent to the kernel. So which means the first one context which is faster with kernel supported threads. Means first option is correct. The next thing is the second option is also correct and the fourth option is also correct. So which means the option D is the correct answer. So next one is in a time sharing operating system, when the time slot given to the process is completed, so the process will go from the running state to the ready state. So it will go from the running state to the ready state. So you can say the answer is the option A. So then the last question, consider the two statements. A network operating system, the user access remote resources in the same manner as local resource. In a distributed operating system, the user can access the remote sources either by logging into the appropriate remote machine or transferring the data from the remote machine to their own machine. So first consider a network operating system, the user access remote resources in the manner as a local resource. So you cannot access the remote resources in the same manner as that of local resource. So the first one will be false. And next thing is in distributed operating system, the user can access remote sources either by logging into appropriate remote machine or transferring the data from remote machine to their own machine. So this is also not correct. So which means both the options are, so both A and B are false. So that is option A, both A and B are false is the correct answer for the 17th question. So this is all about the MCQ questions on C as well as OS. Thank you friends for watching and do subscribe our channel for more updates.